All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on something that is absolutely fundamental to the modern internet, Google Cloud Storage. So, let's dive right in.
You know, the world today literally runs on data. I mean, just think about it for a second. Every single YouTube video you stream, every email you shoot off with Gmail, every photo you back up to the cloud, all of that digital stuff has to go somewhere.
And that is the multi-trillion-dollar question, isn't it? Because when you're talking about data on a global scale, you can't just, pop down to the store and buy a bigger hard drive. No way. You need a completely different way of thinking.
So what is that different way? Well, let's talk about the Infinite Digital Warehouse. The absolute best way to get your head around Google Cloud Storage, or GCS for short, is to picture it as this massive, bottomless digital warehouse. It's a place that's built to hold pretty much anything and everything you can throw at it.
Okay, and this is a super important point. GCS is not like the file system on your laptop, with all its folders inside of other folders. It's what we call an object storage service. So instead of worrying about all those complicated hierarchies, it just stores objects in one gigantic flat space. And that, right there, is the secret sauce to its mind-boggling scalability.
All right, so if it's just one giant warehouse, you're probably wondering, how on earth do you find anything? Well, GCS has a really simple but incredibly powerful way of keeping everything organized. It all comes down to two basic building blocks.
First up, you've got a bucket. Now think of our giant warehouse complex. A bucket is like one of the individual buildings in that complex. It's your main container. And just like a real street address, its name has to be totally unique, not just for you, but across the entire globe. No two buckets can have the same name.
Okay, so inside your bucket, that's where you put your objects. An object is basically the box on the shelf. It's your actual data. Could be a photo, a video, a massive scientific data set, and it also comes with metadata, which is like the label slapped on the outside of the box, telling you exactly what's inside. And we're not talking small boxes here. These things can be huge, up to 5 terabytes for a single object.
Now this is where it gets really smart. See, our digital warehouse isn't just one big room. It has different sections, or rooms, and each one is optimized for how often you need to grab your boxes. So for stuff you need all the time, like images for a popular website, you'd use standard storage. For things like backups that you might only look at once a month, you can use the much cheaper Nearline class. And for those deep, long-term archives, think legal documents you might not touch for years, you've got Coldline and the ridiculously low-cost Archive class. It's all about putting the right box in the right room to save money.
And here is a total game changer, and something that really sets GCS apart. No matter which room your box is in, even if it's in that deep, dusty archive in the back, you can start pulling it out instantly. There's no waiting around for the data to thaw out, which, trust me, is a massive deal compared to how some other services work.
Okay, so we've got an infinite warehouse with smart rooms. But that's all pretty useless if the doors are unlocked and it's built on shaky ground, right? So let's talk about the global and secure foundation that makes all of this possible.
First off, this whole thing runs on Google's own private global fiber network. That's a huge deal for speed and security. Your data is automatically encrypted, both when it's just sitting there and when it's flying across the internet. You also get super detailed control over who can access what. And for developers, this last point, strong consistency, it's a lifesaver. It means when you update a file, the very next person to ask for it gets the new version, every single time. No weird glitches or seeing old data.
So, you might be thinking, wow, moving all my data between those different rooms sounds like a full-time job, and it would be. But this is where GCS gets really clever, letting you basically make your storage smart enough to manage itself and save you a ton of money.
So you can set up these simple rules. They're called lifecycle policies. And you can just tell GCS, hey, look, when a new file comes in, keep it in the fast standard storage for 30 days. After that, if nobody's touched it, go ahead and automatically move it to the cheaper Nearline storage. Then, after a full year, move it to the super cheap archive for long-term keeping. Oh, and after 7 years, just get rid of it to meet our compliance rules. And that's it. You set it and you forget it. It all just happens in the background, no effort required.
So we've got the tech down, but what does all this actually mean in the real world? What does it let us do? Well, the applications are, honestly, they're everywhere, and they're already powering the services you and I use every single day.
Think about it. Big media companies use this to stream movies and shows to you, no matter where you are in the world.
Scientists build these enormous data lakes on it to analyze everything from the human genome to climate patterns. It's what companies rely on for their backup and disaster recovery plans. And, maybe most importantly for the future, it's the foundation for training the next generation of AI, holding all that critical data the models need to learn.
For any business or developer, the difference is just night and day. I mean, you go from the old world of buying, racking, and managing your own expensive physical servers to a system that just scales infinitely with you. You never have to guess how much storage you'll need next year. It's just there, when you need it, secure right out of the box with a global reach. And if you're not convinced yet, check this out. This is the showstopper number. GCS is designed for 99.9999999% annual durability. That is 11 nines of reliability. To put that in perspective, if you stored, say, 10 million files with them, you could expect to lose maybe one of those files every 10,000 years. It's a level of reliability that's it's hard to even wrap your head around.
So what does it all mean? When storage becomes basically infinite, when it's intelligent enough to manage itself, and when it's instantly accessible from anywhere on the planet, it stops being just about storing files. It becomes a platform for innovation, which really just leaves us with one final, very exciting question to think about. What problems are we going to solve next?